What it is, YouTube? Is your boy Nitzy coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. I wanted to do a very dope vocal preset for Don Toliver today, explaining how I feel about his vocal and the mindset and everything like that. He has a really unique ethereal sound. So let's get to this right now. If you guys do like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also suggest more artists down below. Check the description to support the channel as well, the link. So let's get to it right now. And the song is Don Toliver Bandit.
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing, get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry, take a sip and I'm dancing. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing, get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry, take a sip and I'm dancing. She might play like a plan B.
All right, so that's me trying to do my best impression of Don Toliver, this specific song, Bandit. I liked it a lot because, you know, he kind of did something different with his voice, but, you know, he's a very dope and melodic artist. So Don Toliver, he does use the auto-tune, but, you know, in this music game, he's probably one of the best harmonizers. I'm not going to lie. He's really good at harmonizing, creating melodies. So the auto-tune is somewhat moderate. We don't really need to tune it too much because he is very precise when he hits those notes. And he's actually a decent singer. You know, he knows how to harmonize. So those are the auto-tune settings. And let's look at what it sounds like with and without the vocal preset.
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing, get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry, take a You niggas can't stand it. Psycho bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing, get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, so most importantly, we're going for like a healthy balance of you know, clarity at the same time as texture, because if you know Don Toliver's music, his music has a texture to it. It has a feeling quality. Like when you walk into a Chinese restaurant and you say you want your food to be cooked well done, or you go to a steakhouse and you tell a chef, yo, I want you to cook the steak a certain type of way, my nigga. I have a certain way I like it. Some people, like, I know, shout out to all my people from Venezuela. I know people from Venezuela, they like to eat their meat bloody. You feel me? Like that's the style of texture that they like to taste. So, you know, just like how certain people have a certain type of style, they like their barbecue to be cooked or the meat or whatever, the same thing might goes with somebody's ear. You know, his voice has a specific style of texture, which is kind of like a little bit of a you know, a nice little of a shimmer. Specifically, it's a shimmer type of quality, right? So most importantly thing too is I'm going for a nice balance of texture as well as clarity with Don Toliver. So I went with the SSLE because I know the SSLE, it has a warm tone to it, but it has a light amount of the warmth. So it's like two types of sugar. There's like the regular white sugar, and then there's also brown sugar. You feel me? If you ever you know, played around with sugar and tea and stuff like that, you know, like the brown sugar is still sugar, but it, like, the taste is kind of like pulled back. The sweetness is pulled back a little bit. So that's why I'm going with the SSLE, because it's warm but still very transparent.
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing, get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry, take a sip and I'm dancing. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson.
So yeah, most importantly, just rolling off a little bit of low end with Don Toliver. His voice isn't too deep, so you know, we're just making sure we be very precautious with the low end. We want to keep that body and that low mid fullness of his vocal, because that kind of creates that proximity. Also kind of creates that emotional connection of warmth. You know, because he raps about love and partying and all drugs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about when you do drugs. Drugs make you feel more. You feel me? So they amplify feelings. So that's the same thing that we're going with his vocal sound. So we're using a VCA compressor right here, and then we're just tapping it ever so slightly, you know, nibbling and nibbling and nibbling, just getting a little free sample, you feel me, of a taste tube from the compressor, like a dB. After that, we're using the API 2500 because it has a very modern quality, but it's not stank. You feel me? These compressors are not stank. The channel strip is not stank. It doesn't have an overimposing tone to it. You feel me? Versus where something like maybe like a Fairchild, you can just tell that it's just overwhelming the signal with the amount of flavor it's putting on it. You feel me? It's like a light mayonnaise versus you go to Subway and they put they dumping off a regular bit of mayonnaise, right? So that API 2500 is still analog but very light. You feel me? Very light. Diet Coke type of taste type shit, you know? So we're just using a little bit of a compression, maybe like a dB, but we're mostly getting this tone. We're trying to push out the transient.
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhance it. Put a walk out the pantry. Take a sip. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhance it. Put a walk out the pantry.
All right, after that, we have a de-esser doing about 1 to 3 dBs. We already know what a de-esser does. No need to explain. And we having a C6 come in here, and I like the C6 specifically because, like how I said, I'm trying to keep most of the low mid. But there's gonna be some words that have boom, like boom. There's just certain words, bloom, that literally just have more low end to them than other words. I don't know if other people feel that same way how I do, but how I listen to music is I feel like different words have a different amount of power. You feel me? Like they have a different amount of power. Literally, some words literally generate energy from your mouth, like a plosive, a gust of wind. You feel me? So that's kind of how I feel about language and lyrics and stuff like that. And that's why I still want the power of the low mid. So I'm just using the C6 just so the parts where it gets a little bit of too overbearing. We're gonna have a situation where we told them, hey, motherfucker, chill. You feel me? That low mid, chill, bruh, chill. Get pushed back a little bit type of situation. You feel me? You overstepping your boundaries. You feel me? We setting up that territory. You feel me? So just dynamic cut on the low end, low mid, as well as the high end. That little what's that Psycho Bandy? You feel me? With that auto tune, it kind of brings out that little annoying Mickey Mouse in the clubhouse resonant.
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhance it. Put a walk out the pantry. Take a sip and I'm dancing. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing.
All right, and then also because he's rapping somewhat fast, I have it on electro mode too, so it's a lot more responsive. You feel me? And then after that, we have the Arvox here. Arvox giving us a little bit of sparkle. You feel me? Just kind of shining that talent show spotlight on the vocal with the Arvox. It's just bringing out a little bit more of a head tone.
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhance it. Put a walk out the pantry. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhance it. Put a walk out the pantry. Take a sip and I'm dancing.
All right, so after that, we have the REQ, just kind of reworking that low mid because, that Arvox, it boosts up, it adds presence, but it kind of like, boosts up the low mid. So understanding the density area of this compressor specifically, you feel me? It's not just I'm just compressing. Like, no, it has a way of like kind of like shifting the weight on the vocals, pretty much giving the vocal liposuction. You feel me? It's taking the fat off of the legs and it's putting it on the belly. You feel me? Type shit, right? So that's why we're using our Arvox REQ to follow up to rework that low mid. You feel me? To get that low mid to feel really good. You feel me? His vocal kind of reminds me of like when people have like a stress ball or whatever like that, they're in anger management or some shit and they got a stress ball and they like squeeze the ball. You feel me? So like his vocal is very tight, but then it still has like that blooming type of release to it. You know what I mean?
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhance it. Put a walk out the pantry. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread in it.
So you hear like how the RVox it pushes the mid range out. Then I'm doing this EQ move to rebalance that mid range. So now it's just like rather than that super low mid, we're getting like just that 1K type of solidity. Yeah, that's kind of the sound I'm going for. Then I use the NLS bus mic preset. I like the mic specifically because it's just kind of filling out that low that I cut, but using saturation. So it's making the cake batter thicker. You feel me? Certain times when people making the cake, they might add like more eggs or something like that, or more flour, or just some couple of other vanilla extract or some type of ingredient to thicken up the cake batter. Or sometimes they might just add more water to thin it out. So that's kind of like what I'm doing as an engineer. I use certain plugins to make the vocal thicker, and other plugins to make it thin out. You feel me? So that has nothing to really do with the sound. More just like how does it feel? You feel me? Like how fat and thick does it feel? Right. So I'm using that fresh air. You feel me? Every time you just naturally add top into the vocal though, it's gonna naturally kind of thin it out in general. That's just how your ears work.
You niggas can't stand me. Psycho Bambi, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread in the handsy. Put a walk out the pantry. Take a sip and I'm dancing.
All right. After that, fresh air, and we're using just a little bit of that cayenne pepper, that seasoning. Feel me? A little bit of fresh air, that high mid presence, a little bit of that sparkle up top. His voice, you got to be very precautious because if you got a high ass squeaky voice, and then you using some of that auto tune, it's gonna get really scraggly. Is kind of the word I feel. It feels like when you have it's like a sound like this. Like you got a jacket rubbing up on it. Like it just how when your shirt rubs up on something, it creates like a ruffled up high mid type of sound. So that's why I'm very precautious about super bright vocals with a hella auto tune. If it's done well, it can sound like NBA YoungBoy, it can sound like Don Toliver, but just be precautious. Listen to that high end and listen to that auto tune so it doesn't become too straggly, too ruffled up, and it starts to just scratch your ears like a cat's claws or some shit.
You niggas can't stand me. Psycho Bambi, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing.
So you see, like at that point, before I even hit the fresh air, my vocal was like stupid warm and rolled off the top end. You feel me? I'm setting it up to get boom knocked out by that fresh air, and then this is doing like 2 to 3 dBs of DS, and then we have that silk vocal.
You niggas can't stand me. Psycho Bambi, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread in the hands.
All right, after that, REQ. Right before it hits a little bit of that Space Rider, this is a really dope reverb. It reminds me of The Weeknd specifically. What's that one song? When I feel your touch, ooh, I'm blinded by the light. That song. You feel me? That like this plugin reminds me of that song, bruh. You feel me? Just like a super bright, modulated, chorusy reverb type of vintage type of thing. So yeah, I use the Airy Quarters. So this is like a dope plugin that's really good for bright reverbs and bright delays.
You niggas can't stand me. Psycho Bambi, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread in the
Really dope, and I like it because it sounds futuristic. That's kind of like Don Toliver's like type of late night vibes, futuristic type of sound. And then we have a shimmer plate, like how I said, his vocal has a shimmering quality. So before I even put the reverb, I already knew that word in my head, shimmering. When you think about something shimmering, you think about like a street starburst candy, or a sour and sweet candy that just makes you just like kind of ooh, it's sweet, but it kind of makes you shake a little bit, type shit like that. That word shimmer. You feel me? Like you got to define what these words mean to you, and if you could like start mixing and pick a word and just keep mixing and keep thinking about that word, it just makes it so easy to mix. You feel me? Like this reverb just sounds perfect for this type of vocal.
You niggas can't stand me. Psycho Bambi, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing.
Yep. So you already know that's the type of reverb that Don Toliver likes to use. Then we're using that doubler preset, that doubler, and I like how that doubler sounds because that doubler, you feel me? That doubler is that doubler. That bit is a guitar pedal versus the doubler too, so it's a little bit more gritty. You feel me? And we have the API 2500 right here, just doing a little bit of parallel compression. and you see the contrast on my parallel compressor. I'm using the old feedback mode. On my actual lead vocal, I'm using the new mode. So just know it, literally the old mode makes it sound a little bit more warmer, and the new mode just actually sounds more new. You feel me? So that's just the way the circuit is working. So yeah, this is just adding a super amount of presence and boldness. You feel me?
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry. Take a sip and I'm dancing.
All right. Okay, so now let's look at the ad libs real fast. So with the ad libs, we had it sounding exactly like Don Toliver. Rolled off the top, rolled off the bottom, extended high end though for sure. We wanted the top end, you feel me? Didn't need the low end. A little bit of transient management like a DB.
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry.
So yeah, transient management is another way to get the vocals to blend in. You feel me? You got to think about it like, I don't know. I kind of just see music like Tetris. You feel me? I don't know. Making music is tough, yo. If you don't have like the ability to relate it to something, external, or like, just imagery in your head. Like, I don't know, like some people have it, some people don't. But I feel like if you don't have it, like this music shit is like low key kind of hard though, because it's like, if I say some shit like, the way I talk, if I say, oh, music is kind of like an apple because this is like, you already know what an apple is. You feel me? Like, you trying to learn this shit. So try to compare it to something that you do know so that it's easier for you to understand it. You feel me? So like with the transient management, I think about it like Tetris. You feel me? You know how like Tetris, you got all these blocks and shit, and you're trying to like put the blocks into the spaces and shit like that. Well, the same thing with the ad lib. I took off a little bit of the transient on the ad lib. Like if I was playing Tetris, I'm changing the shape of the block so I can fit it into the space. So I'm clipping off a little bit of the transient using a limiter, and because the ad-libs got less transient, it just kind of blends better with the lead vocals. So you hear when the limiter is not there, it's like two transients back to back. It kind of distracts your ear a little bit.
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry.
So you know what I mean? It sounds flatter. You feel me? And because it sounds flatter, it fits better into the space. You feel me? So after that, CLA effects, this is the plugin, bro. This is the plugin to get that sound, all in one plugin, classic plugin. And yeah, nothing crazy here. This is just the easiest plugin to use ever. There's nothing to really explain about it. And yeah, these are just the settings I came up with. When I think of this plugin, I think of Travis Scott specifically. I think of Days Before Rodeo, Travis Scott. I think that Alex Toomey said he used this plugin, and there's just certain albums, certain sounds like I kind of just register it in my head. Maybe you should do this too. Like whenever you just see a certain plugin, you just think of a certain artist or a certain flavor. When you think of an apple, maybe you think of apple pie, or you think of applesauce. You feel me? Whenever you see a certain ingredient, you just think about a certain dish or a certain meal. You feel me? So just kind of like learn music and put it into your head. You feel me?
You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Get the spread and enhancing. Put a walk out the pantry. Take a sip and I'm damaged. You niggas can't stand it. Psycho Bandy, like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing.
Yeah, it's just too easy. Hopefully one day you guys can become like, this information I give you. Hopefully one day you guys can become like how I say, you use imagery, you use colors, you use shit that you do know in real life so that no song feels impossible. You feel me? You could just hear a Don Toliver ad-libs and like, damn, those ad-libs are different. But guess what? Because I really studied this music shit, I already know what plugin to go to get that exact sound. So you guys aren't just like, oh, how are they getting that sound? You feel me? It's like an itch you can't scratch. I remember when I first started like doing music, you hear a song like, you're like, how the fuck does he get the vocals or something like that? And it's annoying because it's like an itch you just can't scratch, bruh. You feel me? But over time, if you actually just study this music shit and you learn, like, oh shit, CLA effects, okay, that's that Travis Scott sound, or that Don Toliver, boom, you can get the sound instantly, bruh. Like, it's so easy. Like, we are blessed. We got the same plugins as our favorite artists. Like, literally, there's the only difference is like you feel me? You just got to get your ability up, but you have the same tools. You got the same knife, fork, and the same spoon. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the video here today. I'm kind of done talking. So if you guys do like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out this preset, copy it. This shit sound crazy. Suggest more artists down below. Just want to say I appreciate y'all now at my YouTube gang. See y'all next time. Peace.